feel free to close off your camera. Good evening, and thank you everyone for being here. We have quite a larger number of folks in attendance than I think the board and I expected. So thank you all so much for your time and for being here this evening. I just want to welcome all of you to our annual meeting. Tonight, we're going to hear from our board president, Phyllis Young. She's going to highlight 2020 accomplishments. And following that, individual board members are going to speak about initiatives and programs that the organization either has or is currently taking on. We will then hear from staff highlighting what's in store for 2021. And then we're going to have a few poll questions from where we ask you, the audience, some of your thoughts on Ellsworth and the future of our downtown. And then at the end of the evening, we're going to open the audience, the questions up to the audience, because we want to hear from you folks. And as we look forward to Ellsworth's bright future, we at the end will raise a glass to the city that we love so much. So without further ado, I want to introduce Phyllis Young, our board president.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being with us tonight. We're so excited to be able to share a lot of the good things that we did in 2020. I'd like to start by reviewing our mission statement with you, because many people are not 100% clear as to what our mission statement is, and it is. It reads, Heart of Ellsworth promotes artistic, cultural, economic, educational, environmental, and historical activities in the downtown area to promote a vibrant community for all. That guides our work. So despite the pandemic in 2020, we're happy to report tonight that Heart of Ellsworth had one of its most successful years to date. This was really accomplished by, resting on the shoulders of our talented part-time director, Cara Romano, the diversity and strengths of our board members, our many sponsors that backed us in a very crazy year of pivoting and going virtual on many things and supporting people in that way, and many active volunteers. Community volunteers are pivotal to our success every year, and they were with us again this year. So together we all supported one another to guide this organization through a very interesting year of change and uncertainty. So I want to make sure that all of those people get thanked collectively right here as we start. So I'm going over the highlights of what we did this year, and I'm going to start out with in March of 2020, Heart of Ellsworth became the 18th city in the state of Maine to be accepted as an affiliate community of the Maine Downtown Center and the National Main Street America program. This is really a sense of great pride for us, but also for the city. The process took well over a year, and Heart of Ellsworth acts as the local steward of the accreditation. But this is really a designation that is for the city of Ellsworth and our residents. We're happy to report that the chair of that committee, the Community Application Committee, was a very trusted volunteer, Ann Russenberger Keefe. I want to give her a shout out because it was a lot of hours that she put in to pull that application, and the players. We worked with the city and other entities to pull that application together. So I wanted to thank Ann publicly tonight for that. And that work did not scare her off, because she also chairs now our design committee, which you're going to hear more about in coming minutes. So the other things that we're going to touch on tonight our work with on historic preservation. We have Bill Fogle, the director of the Ellsworth Historical Society, who will be sharing our partnership with them and things we're doing together. We had another very exciting program that we launched at the very beginning of the pandemic, thanks to Machias Savings Bank being a sponsor of that. And it was called Zoom at Noon. And we reached out to the business community on a weekly basis to here, you know, I mean, we were all very shocked with what was going on. So we reached out, and Julie Vittum from Machias Savings Bank is going to talk to you about that program and how we touched so many businesses and supported them remotely through the many, many weeks of the pandemic that they were trying to figure out what to do with their businesses. I mentioned the design committee, and you'll be hearing from our board member Amy Reisman on the flowers on Main Street, the Union River Flower Program, and other design aspects that that committee is working on. So she'll fill you in on that. We also launched an all new program. It was very exciting. It was called the Downtown Grant Program. That was also supported by Machias Savings Bank. And we were able to award some very exciting grants, and our treasurer, Marichal, will tell you all about that. We were able to hold Meet the Candidates Night in a very different way. That has always been a live meeting for us. We had grown that from 35 the first year to 75 the next year. And this year we went to a virtual offering on that. It was very exciting. We worked with the Ellsworth American and also the city of Ellsworth so that we could broadly broadcast through our social media programs, but also through their network to reach as many residents of Ellsworth so that they could hear from the candidates. Peter Lione is going to fill us in on all those fun dynamics that we worked on to get that to happen. We weren't able to hold our Taste of Ellsworth this year, but we were able to pull off a really great Down East cider and cheese. That too was always a very festive, you know, room-filled event. And we really moved and shook and changed. And John Stein, our vice president, is going to tell you all about all the moving parts that happened and the success of that program, and our big first virtual event. So that was a very exciting time. So John will fill you in on that. And was a project that was, we partnered with Bangor Savings Bank and the Office of Tourism, a grant that we received on that. The holiday lights on Main Street, Nate Hanson is going to fill you in on that exciting project. We beefed it up, we made some changes, and he'll tell you all about it. And tonight, we also want to let you know about all the successful grant writing we've done. That's been just one of the anchors for this organization. Over the 6 years of our being, we have written grants to the tune of $90,000 that we have landed to support projects in the downtown for Ellsworth. We're very excited to share that. We're very proud of that. And in 2020 alone, we brought in $35,000 in grant funding to help with the projects that are being done here by our organization in support of small businesses, creating events, community programs, and so forth. And one of our board members that could not be here tonight is Kourtney Collum. She came to us because she wanted to get involved with an organization that was moving and shaking and doing fun things in her downtown, in her community. She is a College of the Atlantic professor, and that's what kept her away tonight. She had a meeting there with them, but she has been a great help working shoulder to shoulder with Cara to write these grants, make sure that, we get them out in a timely manner and well written. So I want to put a shout out to Kourtney, who could not be here tonight. A couple of other things I want to touch on that were new for us. We ran a Shop Local campaign for a month, right around, I think it was right between right after Thanksgiving and through the month of December. We really worked closely with the City of Ellsworth, the Chamber of Commerce, and Healthy Acadia to promote. Particularly, it's important every year to support local and small businesses, but particularly this year, it was critical that we all teamed together to help our retail and our restaurants.
Venir a por mí, pero con la...
And so that was a very very fun program, and we were able to have some really good partnerships on that. We also launched a Down East gift guide on our website and with numerous Facebook posts throughout, the holiday season time, so that people were remembered on a daily basis to shop local and who our local people were. We actually had our Facebook posts with business owners, and we had them highlighted in front of their shops, and
Bitch, shut the fuck up, Artie. You're fucking dumbass fucking bitch.
so we're getting some little flack here. I can hear it on my phone, but
this is Zoom bombing. You have to kill the whole thing. This is Zoom bombing.
yeah, I know it's Zoom bombing.
Come on, can you either click off all these people fast?
No, we got it. I think I know who it was. So
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. We are very blessed that we have a couple of real tech savvy board members, and we anticipated that this could happen because this is the nature of what happens in the virtual world. So the last thing I want to do before I turn it over, I want to welcome our newest board member, and that is Lass King. She is the second to none owner, the second to none shop here in downtown. She was planning to be with us tonight for her first meeting, but how life gets in the way sometimes, so she was kept away from being able to attend tonight. But we're looking forward to working with Lass and the retail sector a little more closely through her association. So now I want to turn it over to Bill Fogle. He's going to talk to you about the Ellsworth Historical Society partnership. So thank you for coming, and enjoy the talks that are following on each of our programs.
Hello, everybody. I don't think I'm going to be quite as exciting as the Zoom bombing, but I hope that what I have to say will be interesting. My collaboration with Heart of Ellsworth began when the Historical Society started supplying old photographs for a block of the newsletter called Jump in the Time Machine, part of a grant from the Maine Community Foundation. By highlighting historic downtown locations and events, we were aiming to foster a present-day pride and connection to Ellsworth Main Street community. This collaboration, which will continue into 2021, addresses 2 of the 4 points of transformation strategies laid out by the National Main Street Center, which include economic vitality, design, promotion, and organization. By celebrating Ellsworth's historic character, we are contributing to the design aspect of transformation. And by communicating unique features through storytelling, we are engaging in promotion. So now I'm going to turn it over to Julie Vittum, our member at large, who's going to be talking about Zoom at noon.
Thanks, Bill. So my involvement with this project has been, I do work at Machias Savings Bank, and in response to COVID-19, Machias Savings Bank sponsored a Zoom at noon segment. At the beginning of COVID, we actually were reaching out on a weekly basis to our constituents at Heart of Ellsworth. And the goal was to give people a forum to be able to talk with one another and have an opportunity to react to what we were dealing with during the pandemic. And I feel that we were extremely successful in that. Meetings were heavily attended throughout the pandemic. As many as 40 and 50 different businesses in the area were in attendance at the meeting. The program now has gone to a bi-weekly format, and it is still the Zoom at noon. The program offers check-ins to connect community leaders and small business owners. And typically we have someone online that's going to present a subject matter of some sort. Last week, Machias Savings Bank talked about PPP. So that was an exciting part of everybody's life, I think, this last 10 months. So together we're working to identify opportunities and create solutions and basically manage our lives through this COVID-19 process. And the pandemic has changed our way of living, and it's changed our way of communicating. But I think that we have benefited as a community by being able to be together during the Zoom at noon sessions. So I think it's been a boon for us. I have the pleasure of introducing Amy Reisman. Amy is also a member at large. She is the chair, co-chair of the design committee. And Amy's going to talk with us about the flower pots and other things relating to the design committee's objectives on Main Street.
Thanks, Julie. Each year, the flower pots on Main Street and the flower boxes on the Union River Bridge, also the holiday lights and the window displays in the JB Atlantic building are done by a group of dedicated volunteers who love Ellsworth. These efforts instill pride. They transform our community by enhancing the physical and visual assets of the Main Street district. And we partnered with Wallace Events, First National Bank, Simons Hancock Farms, the City of Ellsworth, and others. And if you're interested in becoming involved with our design committee, please follow the link in the chat and fill out a volunteer application. And next is Eric Marichal to talk about the downtown grants.
Thank you, Amy. My name is Eric, board member, treasurer, and Zoom police apparently now. So I first found out about Heart of Ellsworth through kind of our public facing events like Taste of Ellsworth, but we obviously do a lot of things behind the scenes. So one of the new programs this year was our downtown grants program, partially response to COVID-19 and seeing the need for the business community. We partnered with Machias Savings Bank and their generous sponsorship to create this grants program. So basically they're mini grants for $500 to $1,000 this year. And this was kind of technology focused. So the applicants had to basically say, what they were going to use towards technology for the grants for. And I believe we ended up selecting 7 local businesses to receive these grants. We got feedback, I think, from them, which I haven't seen that full report yet. And, I think it was pretty successful. We're hoping to extend this out to 2021. So like, once again, this is a new program. I think it's a great program and looking forward to carrying it on into the future here. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box there. We can try to answer them. And next up is Peter Lione talking about Meet the Candidates.
In case anyone wondered, I'm not a Mainer. I am from away. Meet the Candidates is a nonpartisan production that was held completely online in 2020 as a result of the pandemic, and it was very successful. The program aims to provide an educational platform for the voting residents of Ellsworth. All candidates running for a seat on the Ellsworth City Council were encouraged to participate, and they all did. Events like this raise awareness of local issues and connect community members to our local democracy. Meet the Candidates 2020 was produced in partnership with the Ellsworth American and sponsored by Gibson Financial Solutions. Take it away, John Stein, our vice president, and he is going to talk about Cider and Cheese Festival.
Thanks, Peter. This past November saw the 3rd annual Down East Cider and Cheese Festival in Ellsworth. This was a celebration of 2 traditional Maine foods, hard cider and cheese. The festival, packed full of awesome events, honors the rich traditions of Ellsworth's historic apple industry. This year, we pivoted to a predominantly virtual event with a few safe in-person activities around the city. The festival's signature experience was a live virtual tasting that included the purchase of a specially curated tasting bag full of some of our state's best ciders and cheeses from small local producers. We kicked it off with a virtual Friday evening talk on the history of cider in Ellsworth. Locally foraged cider apple pressings were demonstrated at Fogtown Brewing Company throughout the weekend, and Sunday included an outdoor live acoustic concert of old-time music streamed online as well from Harbor Park. Our sponsors and partners this year were Maine Office of Tourism, Bangor Savings Bank, Woodlawn Museum, Fogtown Brewing Company, and many others. It's really, really exciting, and it's an exciting time for cheese and cider in our area. These cultural crafts have the power to help drive both local pride within our community and outside tourism to our community. Our Cider and Cheese Festival is the only one of its kind in the state, and it can really help push Ellsworth toward being New England's epicenter of these growing craft industries. Next up is Nate Hanson, member at large, to talk about holiday lights on Main Street.
Thanks, John. I know I was super impressed with the cider and cheese pivot this year. I think we're still working on our allotment of cider that we got in our bag. That was a lot of fun. One of the other efforts that we've been involved in this year, once again, is to light up downtown, since we're all yearning for a little brightness, especially this year. Thanks to financial support from First National Bank and First National Wealth Management. Earlier this winter, we were able to wrap 36 of our iconic Main Street lampposts, which expanded on lighting that we've done in previous years and add some cheer and festivity to downtown. This year, notably, we were able to convert to a more sustainable approach that will, the lights will be used year after year, and they're lower energy lights. And that was all thanks to support that we've gotten from our partners and from members like all of you. We also partnered with the city of Ellsworth in this effort, and we really appreciate working with them again. In coming years, we plan to grow the program further to cover more areas of downtown and to partner with more area businesses and other nonprofits and further improve Ellsworth. So next, I think we're going on to the game show portion of the meeting. Kara's got some polls to share.
Yeah, we do. We prepared a few polls for you folks this evening, as we really want to hear from the community about your vision for your community in the next 2 years, and then another one for the next 5 to 10 years. So I've got some back-end tech help where we're going to throw up the first poll. There we go. So visualize your downtown in 2 years. Over the next 2 years, what initiatives do you want to see in downtown Ellsworth? So these are multiple choice. The first one is small public outdoor dining area. The second is expansion of holiday lights. And the third is a public art mural. I'm not sure if you can vote for more than one. So hopefully you can vote for all three if you want to see all three.
You can.
You can.
Okay, good. I can't on my end, I can't see, but I'm wondering also, I guess at the end, we've got 50% of the people who have voted. So maybe we'll wait until we're upwards into the 90%. Hopefully all of you will feel welcome to vote. Even board members should vote if can be. And then we will share the poll results with you once we reach at least 90%. All right, well, we still have a few people that haven't voted, but maybe we can end the poll and then show folks poll results. I think we can show poll results. All right, well, it looks like the community has spoken. You folks really want to see small public outdoor dining area. So what we'll do is we'll take note of that and see what we can make happen in the downtown area on this initiative here in 2021. And then the next poll is visualize downtown. Oops. That's the second one. I think we need to go to the second. Here we go. Visualize downtown in 2 years over the next, oh, that's the same one. I guess here we are. There we share results, but stop sharing. I don't know what's happening here.
All right, hold on, Cara. Hold on one second.
Sure. All right, here we go. Visualize downtown in 5 to 10 years. In the next 5 to 10 years, what initiatives do you want to see happen in downtown Ellsworth? Increase access to the Union River. Downtown Ellsworth listed on the National Historic Register to identify historically significant buildings, structures, sites, and objects that will attract visitors. And then the last one is wayfinding signage directing visitors to Main Street parking, EV charging station, hiking trails, eating places, maybe a public restroom, those sorts of things. Okay, it looks like 92% of you folks have voted. We can end the poll, and then here we are. These are the polling results. It looks like increased access to the Union River, that seems to always win. So hopefully we can continue to work with the community to make that happen. It looks like next is the wayfinding signage is super important to people. And then downtown Ellsworth being listed on the National Historic Register. That one's a little bit more heady, but I think that we can certainly, I will also announce, we do have Ann Ball from the Maine Downtown Center on our call. Welcome, Ann, and thank you for tuning in during your evening. Ann is our advisor on the statewide level, so it's super, super exciting to have Ann on here. Thank you, Ann. She just messaged in and said that properties listed on the National Register can take advantage of historic preservation tax credits for rehabilitation. So some of these businesses, or excuse me, these buildings that we're seeing that are in some cases being taken down, we might be able to sort of preserve a little bit more of our historic character here in downtown Ellsworth if we make that a little bit more of a priority. So hopefully we can work, and it looks like some more people voted in. We have 43% saying that that's an important initiative. So thank you for that. And I'm just going to take a screenshot of that. Thank you everybody for voting on those things. And we're going to do what we can to make these things happen in the future. So I want to just thank each of the board members who spoke this evening. And as executive director of, and a new executive director of this organization, I just want to say that the board is really the backbone of my own work with the organization. And then all of you out there in the community who are volunteering, writing us emails, letting us know what you want to see and hear is also really, really important to our work collectively as an organization. So I thank again all of you for being here tonight, and for the board and all of our sponsors and volunteers for taking the time out of their busy lives to be here tonight. I have the honor of sort of letting you folks all know what we're working on in 2021, some of our programs and initiatives. One of the first ones, this has been part of our bylaws for a long time, but we're finally in a place where we're able to look to the future and begin to appoint high school students to serve on the Heart of Ellsworth board for a one-year term. We as an organization collectively believe that the experiences like these foster lifelong community engagement and awareness of nonprofit structure and how communities can work together to make a town a welcoming place for all. So if folks here are connected to a high school student that might be interested in this, we ask you to start the conversation with them, and then to reach out to us. We are really excited about getting this initiative off the ground. The other super exciting initiative is that Heart of Ellsworth has received its first bit of seed money to begin erecting Ellsworth's first outdoor art mural. We have received money, as I said earlier, from an anonymous donor, and we're currently organizing an artist call for entry that we will formally be releasing later on this year. Once we have the finer details fleshed out, we will issue this call to the Ellsworth High School students who are pursuing a career in the arts. The students will be chosen to serve as the artist understudy and work on site to install the first outdoor mural in downtown Ellsworth. So again, we're really excited to work to try and bring experiences to Ellsworth High School students and just students in general in Ellsworth, and to make them a part of their community becoming what it is that they want to see. The next one is that we don't really have quite a bit of any infrastructure built out around this, but we knew that it was really important to folks. We get emails and comments on social media all the time about public outdoor dining. And so we're going to work hard this year to try and find space in downtown to develop an outdoor dining area. And we're also going to work with downtown businesses to come up with a structure for cooperative downtown marketing plan to do advertising of our Main Street community. Both initiatives will build community and they'll draw visitors to our downtown area year round. These visitors and residents will support downtown businesses and the growth of our community. The next one, to expand a little bit on what Eric said about our downtown grants program, we're looking to expand the program this year by offering targeted resources and small business support. The goal is to maintain current business inventory on Main Street, so no business is left behind ahead of the economic recovery of the COVID-19 pandemic. While typically, in the course of a year, you're looking to build the infrastructure and to attract more businesses, this year that we're in right now and the year that we just came out of is not a typical year. And we need to really focus on keeping the businesses that we have on Main Street here. And we can work on making our foundation stronger to be able to attract other businesses later on. But right now we're looking to retain the businesses that we have. The last one that was touched on a little bit earlier as well, our Taste of Ellsworth event. We're looking for ways to pivot and redesign this flagship event. We are working closely with Machias Savings Bank to bring it back. They've been our predominant sponsor on that event for the past 4 years. And we know that this is a popular and very sought after community event. And we're looking forward to figuring out a way to make that happen again here in our downtown. So with all of those announcements, I do want to open up the floor to questions, and feel free to take yourself off mute and to ask questions or stick them in the chat. Both John Stein and Eric Marichal will be on hand to shout out some questions, and board members will be answering, and I will be in the background to help out as well.
Hi, this is Ken Perrin, and I just want to say what a fantastic job you've all been doing, from Phyllis right on down through Peter, John, everybody. I can't even name everyone, but thank you so much. It's been a crisis year and you guys have delivered. Thank you.
I see Nadine Lewis has her hand up. Would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, hi, I'm Nadine Lewis, and I work at the Beth Wright Cancer Resource Center. And I was so thrilled to see what happened at our center this year. It was absolutely beautiful, Amy, and whoever helped from this. It was just amazing, just warmed my heart. And what you guys have all been doing, and I feel like I'm starting to understand what you folks are doing. I kind of was like removed from it, but I do have a question. I'm resurrecting my old marketing business. I got a CARES grant, so I would like to get involved. So I'm out in Ellsworth Falls. So how big is the downtown Ellsworth? I mean, can it be a pseudo downtown Ellsworth? That's my question.
Nadine, thank you. That's a great question. While we do have parameters that encompasses the downtown of the area that we focus on, our organization is open to everybody. One of the best ways to get involved, I think, would be to attend one of our Zoom at noon meetings. As a business owner, that program is there predominantly to support Ellsworth and area businesses. for them to network and to learn about new resources, grant opportunities, all sorts of different things that are available to you as an Ellsworth business owner or resident. And we would be happy to have you join those calls. And if you want to message me your email address, I'm happy to add your email to our building and business owners list, and then you'll get the invites every other week as we send them out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nadine.
Yeah, hey, Cara, I don't know if you or another board member wants to take this, but there was a question about any plans coming up around initiatives for vacant buildings on or around Main Street.
Yeah, we have been working, actually, what I will do, this is a great opportunity for me to call out the efforts of both the design committee, but specifically Peter Lione. Peter Lione, our board member, who spoke about the Meet the Candidates event that we did last year. Peter has, since almost Heart of Ellsworth's inception, Peter has been keeping the windows in the JB Atlantic building on the corner of Franklin Street and Main Street alive, vibrant, and active for, believe it or not, almost 5 years now. And while we are a growing organization and our resources are limited, we are doing what we can to at least keep windows full, active, and relevant to what's happening in our city. So right now we have a local artist who Peter has worked with to curate pieces of his work that are up in the window. Then we have another window that we did in partnership with the statewide Maine Crafts Association that features local members who are artists that make beautiful handcrafted items, and their work is in the window, and that's our Valentine's Day window. And then the last window is a partnership that we've done with the LGBTQA students at the Ellsworth High School that is sort of an educational window, as well as a window that is highlighting diversity and inclusion in our community. So right now, those are sort of the ways that we're able to continue to support and keep the windows active. But we're open to any and all suggestions as folks have them. Please email us or private message us on Facebook, put them in the chat. We are always eager to hear ideas and to partner.
All right, and there was another question here. What are some of downtown Ellsworth's biggest challenges for 2022, essentially?
I'll take that one. This is Julie. I would say one of the biggest challenges, Cara and some of the other board members touched upon earlier, which is we need to keep the businesses that we already have on Main Street. And I think facing the challenges that are continuing into 2021, no magic wand, we're still doing it, and we're still living it every day. And so I think the role that we're faced with is to help our businesses survive and get through this and thrive, hopefully, through this is also the plan. So I would say that would be one of the biggest challenges I see going into 2021. We obviously hope to have some normalcy come back and be able to have some of our events and come together as a community as well. And if we cannot come together in person, we will look at alternative ways to pivot, like we did with the cider and cheese and so forth. But I think challenging wise, right now, we're all still faced with the biggest challenge of all, which is getting through this pandemic.
I'd like to just add to that. I think that Heart of Ellsworth is really focused on partnering with other entities in the city so that we are all working towards the same goals. And, you know, we want to work with the city of Ellsworth and the Chamber of Commerce and, you know, our local like newspaper and all of these things that help us to come together and really look at the city and what it is that we can all do when we work together to entice new businesses. We work very hard at making the downtown, even the stores that are vacant, vibrant looking. We're open to doing that with other storefronts that are open if they would like to have our creativity come in and make their windows look lively, as we've done with the J&B Atlantic building. We're welcome. We will do that. We're always there when we get a call from the city that somebody's interested in a downtown property. Where our board members are more than happy to work with those potential owners and talk with them about, what it is they're looking for, what we know about the different properties in our downtown, what we know about our business climate. So we really, we have our ear to the ground all the time, and we are open to working with everybody in the city to fill our vacancies and so forth. So, but right now, that there really is that focus, as everybody has said, on keeping the businesses that we have vibrant, and helping them find the solutions that they need. But that's not to say that we don't have our ear to the ground and our hand out to help every other organization that is looking to bring new business into Ellsworth as well.
All right, thank you, Phyllis. Sarah, you had your hand raised. Did you have a question?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
We don't have a question. We just wanted to say thank you. What do you want to say thank you for?
I want to say thank you for helping us with our grant money for our website.
So thank you so much. It really helped a lot. It definitely made a gigantic difference. And on a side note, it was very cool to get to teach my daughter how to code a website.
Silver linings of this experience.
That's awesome. We see a comment here in the chat. Kathy loves the color scheme of our logo. It is really a beautiful thing, and it'd be lovely to see these colors on downtown Ellsworth. Replace some of the white paint in places.
Cara, I think that's all I see for questions, and Anne, I think, has her hand raised.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me, Cara. I just want to tell you guys you're doing amazing. You really are. I work daily in 25 communities around the state. Heart of Ellsworth is young and such a powerhouse. Your director is amazing and gives like blood, sweat, and tears to your organization. And your board is clearly so engaged. I love it that everybody was able to report out tonight. I knew most of those things, but I learned some new things that you're doing. You really are touching the 4-point approach. You're building cross-sector partnerships. I love that Nadine said she didn't quite get it, but she's starting to get it, because that's what's going to happen. The community is really just going to start to more and more understand what a Main Street or affiliate program is. I love that Jared is attending, being like your regional EDD. It's great. So congratulations on your anniversary. And I look forward to continually being, a resource for you guys. We certainly work statewide on those issues of vacancies, and obviously historic preservation, and more to come. But congratulations to all of you. You're exceptional.
All right, thank you, Anne. Looks like we had another question from Jared, I believe. The waterfront seems to be an underutilized resource. Any plans on considering Build Maine's proposed LD in the current 130th on Build Ready communities? So that is beyond my pay grade, apparently. But on a personal note, yeah, when I first moved here about 5 years ago, I was born in Maine. I've lived in New Hampshire for most of my life. Lived in Arizona for about 10 years. The very first thing I noticed when I moved to Ellsworth, and I kind of live down by the Rooster Brothers area, was basically, as Jared's pointing out, was the waterfront being underutilized. So when you go to pretty much any other town, there's there's paths, there's walkways, there's parks, and we essentially, as everyone knows, it's not very utilized very well. So that's one of the reasons I got involved with Heart of Ellsworth. So maybe Cara or Phyllis can speak more to the specific question, but I think absolutely everyone feels the same way about that.
Jared, would you like to elaborate a little bit more on your question, just so that we can maybe put it in a little bit of lay terms, even for myself, probably more than anyone else?
I would love to elaborate more. Hi, Jared Gillette, Executive Director, Hancock County Planning Commission, and the Legislative and Policy Committee Chair for the Maine Association of Planners. So I have a bit of an inside scoop on upcoming legislation in the state of Maine. And Build Maine, which has a program called Build Ready, oh God, I forget, it's too late and the T's not working yet.
Isn't it, Jared, isn't it development ready communities?
Yes, development ready. Thank you, Ann. There's actually an LD or a title for a bill coming up. I don't know which way it's going to go, but it does seem possible that it would be a good segue to combine brownfield resources and then properties that are maybe being underutilized or underperforming in some ways. I don't have any more details, and maybe Anne, you have seen more details on the actual title itself, but it seems like a very good resource in the potential resource in the near term.
We reviewed it at a Maine Alliance for Smart Growth meeting a couple weeks ago in a draft form, and it didn't have a title, it just had a number, but I can check on it for you guys in Ellsworth and see if it's something you should advocate for more directly, because it might be of a benefit.
I'd like to chime in and just say that the waterfront is a key aspect of our work. Cara has, been in numerous meetings with numerous different entities, just talking about the future of our waterfront. I know that we've had opportunity to go in, she and another executive director here in town have talked with all the business owners along our waterfront to get a sense of, what they see for their future and the future for the river, and so forth. So we aren't in a position where we're going to talk, real openly about the work we're doing, but I want the community to know that it certainly is a piece of what we are working on, and we're talking with the players that, that we need to see how we can recapture that waterfront, because it is an amazingly beautiful piece of our community. My husband's office was on the backside of Maine Shellfish for many, many years, and he would come home at night and he'd say, Phyllis, I sit in a documentary film. I mean, it is gorgeous. It's, the mergansers fishing and the eagles swooping in and the seals coming up the river. And, with the dredging of the river a few years ago, we're getting more boating traffic. So we are sitting at the table with a lot of discussions on our waterfront, and how to move different projects forward on recapturing that for public enjoyment and use. So I guess when we look ahead at 2022, that certainly we hope as everybody in Ellsworth, I shouldn't say everybody, but many community members want to see more done with that river. And just rest assured that it is on our radar screen and we are involved, and we want to be more involved as it plays out. So, and looking at grants and opportunities is what we do, as I spoke earlier. And so, if those opportunities come along, you can expect to see Heart of Ellsworth at the table on it.
All right, Cara, so that is all I see for questions, comments. So this is the last chance, I guess, if anyone else has anything to input.
Maybe I'll just piggyback on that last comment, that one of our strengths and one of the places that Heart of Ellsworth is continuing to find strength and build synergy is in working with other nonprofits in our area. And we've got a lot of really great partners. The waterfront is one example where we're working with some other nonprofits who are active in the area and have specialties that will help our efforts in improving the waterfront part of downtown. And there are other aspects of our work that are equally helped by the other great organizations that we've got in Ellsworth. And one of the things that we can do is help bring those efforts together and organize them. So a shout out to all of our other nonprofit partners.
And I'll just build on what Nate just said. One of the things that has been a very, very conscious effort that we actually learned during the year-long affiliate process is the importance of having board members that sit on other boards or volunteer or intricately a part of other organizations in our area. So just to sort of highlight that, Julie Vittum, who is on our board, she also serves on the hospital chair for the Poinsettia Ball and other events that happen in support of the hospital. Nate Hanson, who you just heard from, is also on the Frenchman Bay Conservancy Board. Let's see who else. Bill Fogle, as I said earlier, is president of the Ellsworth Historical Society. And Amy Reisman, by default, is kind of sort of on the board of the Beth C. Wright Cancer Center because her husband is the executive director, and she does a ton of volunteer work over there. And then let's see who else is on here that I might possibly be
Phyllis.
Phyllis Young. Oh my gosh, of course, our board president, who was the interim president, or excuse me, the interim director of Woodlawn Museum, and a big reason why we partnered so tightly with the Woodlawn during our this year Cider and Cheese Festival, which was just an incredible success and a really wonderful place to be able to hold our tasting that was over Zoom. So those sorts of connections. Oh yeah, and John Stein, I almost forgot, is on, does do a lot of work with WERU and has a radio show on there. And so we pride ourselves on partnerships in the community, and those are really important during board meetings so that we know what's going on and just out in general, so people have an ear to the ground of what's happening in our community. So I want to make sure that those sort of connections are a lot about our story and who we are collectively as a community and who we are as an organization that reflects the community. So to that, if there are no other questions or comments, please feel free to speak up or to put something in the chat. But if there is no one else that does want to speak, I just want to sort of end the evening with each of us raising a glass to the community that we love so much. So thank you everybody for being here.
Thank you, Cara, for all you do.
And thanks to all the community members that joined us tonight to learn more about our organization. Thanks so much. Good night.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Kawa.
I'm sorry I was so late.
It's okay. Don't worry, but I'm glad you were here.
Went so much later than I thought it would. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tara. Bye-bye.
Bye.